Jai Shri Ram doston. Guys, imagine this scenario. You're living in 8th century India and suddenly you hear that a massive foreign army, 30,000 strong, is marching toward your homeland. They've already conquered Spain, North Africa, Persia, and now they've set their eyes on India. These aren't just raiders looking for quick loot. These are the Arabs of the Umayyad Khilafat, one of history's most successful military machines. They've been unstoppable for decades, crushing empire after empire. And now, they think India is going to be their next easy conquest. But here's what they didn't expect. 3 young kings who said, "Not today." And what happened next? Well, it changed the course of Indian history forever. Today, we're diving deep into the most underrated military alliance in Indian history. A story so epic that Hollywood would struggle to make it more dramatic. This is the story of how 3 forgotten heroes saved India from complete Arab conquest. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll wonder why this isn't taught in every Indian school. Alright, let's set the stage. The year is 730 CE and the Islamic world is at its peak military power. The Umayyad Caliphate stretches from Spain in the west to Central Asia in the east. These guys have perfected the art of conquest. Now you might be thinking, why did the Arabs want India so badly? Well, here's the thing. Arab merchants had been trading with Indian ports for centuries. They knew exactly how wealthy India was. We're talking about a land with thriving cities, massive trade networks, and legendary riches that made even the Arabs' eyes light up. But here's where it gets interesting. The Arabs weren't just motivated by gold and spices. This was also a religious mission for them, spreading Islam to what they called the land of idol worshippers. In 711 CE, they got their first major breakthrough. A young Arab general named Muhammad bin Qasim conquered Sindh, defeating King Dahir. Boom! The Arabs now had a foothold in India. But here's what's fascinating. After Sindh, they tried to expand into Punjab and failed miserably. Rulers like Lalitaditya of Kashmir and Yashovarman of Kannauj sent them packing. The Arabs realized India wasn't going to be as easy as they thought. Enter our main villain, Junayd ibn Abd al-Rahman al-Murri. This guy becomes the governor of Sindh in 723 CE, and unlike his predecessors, he's both brilliant and ruthless. He spent years studying Indian politics, understanding our weaknesses, and then, in 730 CE, he launched the most coordinated attack India had ever seen. Picture this. Junayd splits his massive 30,000 strong army into multiple contingents. One attacks southern Rajasthan, another hits western Malwa, and a third invades Gujarat. It's a 3-pronged assault designed to overwhelm and conquer systematically. And you know what? It was working. Kingdom after kingdom was falling. The Saindhavas, Kachchelas, Saurashtra rulers, Mauryas, they were all getting crushed one by one. India was staring at complete conquest. But then, something extraordinary happened. This is where our 3 heroes enter the picture. And guys, this is not your typical Bollywood trio. These are real historical figures whose strategic brilliance saved an entire civilization. First up, Nagabhata I of the Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. Ruling from Ujjain, this guy is the master strategist. Think of him as the Chandragupta Maurya of the 8th century. Brilliant political mind, understands diplomacy, and most importantly, he sees the bigger picture. Nagabhata realizes something crucial. No single kingdom can face this Arab invasion alone. The Arabs are using our political divisions against us. So what does he do? He makes one of the most important decisions in Indian history. He decides to form an alliance. Next, we have Bappa Rawal of the Gohila dynasty. Now, this guy is fascinating. He's young, probably in his early 20s, but he's already proven himself as a fierce warrior. He's kicked the Arabs out of Chittor and established himself as the defender of Mewar. Imagine being 22 years old and having the responsibility of defending your entire homeland. Whew, that's the pressure Bappa Rawal was under. But instead of cracking under pressure, this guy thrived. And finally, Avanijanashraya Pulakesin, the Chalukya governor of Navsari. This guy controls southern Gujarat and northern Konkan. He's got the title Repeller of the Unrepellable, and trust me, he's about to prove why he deserves it. Now here's what makes this alliance so remarkable. In the 8th century India, these kingdoms were usually fighting each other. Territorial disputes, dynastic rivalries, ego clashes, you name it. But when faced with existential threat, they did something unprecedented. They put aside centuries of rivalry and said, you know what? Our differences can wait. Right now, we fight together or we fall together. But forming an alliance is one thing. Actually coordinating a military strategy against a force that outnumbers you 5-1, that's where things get really interesting. Guys, what happens next is basically a masterclass in military strategy. And the best part? We have actual historical evidence for this, including contemporary inscriptions that document these events. Let's break down the Arab strategy first. Junayd isn't just throwing 30,000 soldiers at India randomly. He's using a systematic approach. Divide and conquer. Hit multiple targets simultaneously so the defenders can't coordinate their response. But here's where Nagabhata's genius comes in. Instead of trying to defend everywhere at once, he makes a calculated decision. He lets the Arabs advance deeper into Indian territory, stretching their supply lines, and then coordinates simultaneous counterattacks. And this is where we get our first major victory, the Battle of Navsari in 737 CE. Pulakesin faces the Arab southern contingent, and guys, we know exactly what happened because we have the copper plate inscription describing this battle. According to the inscription, the battle was so fierce that even headless bodies continued fighting. Of course, this is exaggeration, but can you imagine the intensity? Pulakesin's forces completely crushed the Arab contingent, earning him the title Anivartaganivardayitri, the repeller of the unrepellable. But here's the brilliant part. This victory doesn't just save Gujarat, it closes the door to Arab expansion into the Deccan. Pulakesin has effectively secured the entire southern flank of the alliance. Meanwhile, in the north, Bappa Rawal and Nagabhata are preparing for the main event. The Arabs, having been defeated in the south, are now concentrating their remaining forces for one massive push into Rajasthan. And this is where we get to the climactic Battle of Rajasthan in 738 CE. Picture this scenario. Approximately 6,000 allied Hindu forces facing over 30,000 Arab troops. The odds? Roughly 5-1 against the alliance. In any normal military textbook, this should have been a massacre. The Arabs should have won easily. But you know what? Our heroes had other plans. The Battle of Rajasthan in 738 CE. Guys, this is one of those moments that literally changed the course of world history. And here's what makes it even more incredible. We have accounts from both sides describing what happened. The location is somewhere along the Sindh-Rajasthan border. Amir Junayd has consolidated his forces after the defeats in the south. He's still commanding a massive army, and he's confident that sheer numbers will carry the day. But the alliance has several crucial advantages. First, they know the terrain intimately. Second, They are fighting for their homeland. That's a psychological edge you can't quantify. And third, they've coordinated their tactics perfectly. Bappa Rawal's Rajput cavalry uses hit-and-run tactics, exploiting their superior mobility. Nagabhatta's forces control the strategic positions. The coordination is flawless. And then, in the heat of battle, something decisive happens. Amir Junayd is killed. The Arab chronicler Suleiman describes it perfectly. A place of refuge to which the Muslims might flee was not to be found. Guys, let that sink in. This is an Arab source admitting complete defeat. The psychological impact is devastating. The supposedly invincible Arab army is not just defeated, it's routed so completely that they can't even find a place to retreat safely. But here's where the story gets even more incredible. According to some sources, Bappa Rawal doesn't just stop at victory. He pursues the retreating Arab forces, conducting multiple campaigns that push them back beyond the Indus. Now, we need to be careful here. Some later bardic traditions claim Bappa Rawal chased the Arabs all the way to Iran and even founded Rawalpindi. Modern historians are skeptical about these claims because we don't have contemporary evidence. But what we do know for certain is that the Arabs were comprehensively defeated and never again attempted large-scale invasion of interior India. The immediate result? Arab expansion into India stops cold. Junayd, the successor, tries to organize fresh campaigns but achieves nothing. For the first time in decades, the Arab war machine has been stopped dead in its tracks. Guys, the impact of this alliance victory is absolutely massive. We're not just talking about a military victory. We're talking about a complete reshaping of Indian and world history. Think about it this way. If the Arabs had successfully conquered interior India in 738 CE, the entire trajectory of Indian civilization would have been different. No Chola Maritime Empire, no Vijayanagar, no Mughal synthesis, no Maratha resurgence. Everything would have changed. The immediate impact is clear. The Gurjara Pratiharas emerge as the dominant power in northern India. Nagabhatta's descendants, including rulers like Mihira Bhoja, go on to build an empire that rivals the Guptas in territorial extent. Bappa Rawal establishes the foundation of Mewar kingdom. His dynasty eventually produces legendary rulers like Maharana Pratap. The Chalukyas consolidate their control over the Deccan and southern India. But here's the most important point. This alliance proves that Indian political unity is possible when facing existential threats. It creates a template for coordinated resistance that influences Indian strategic thinking for centuries. The economic consequences are equally massive. By preventing Arab conquest, the alliance preserves India's independent economic development. Our traditional trade networks, manufacturing centers, and agricultural systems continue under indigenous control. And guys, let's not forget the cultural impact. These three rulers preserved Hindu dharma and Indian cultural traditions at a crucial moment. They ensured that India would develop along indigenous lines rather than becoming just another province of the Islamic world. You know what's fascinating? The strategic principles these rulers used. Unity against external threats, coordinated defense, leveraging local advantages. These are still relevant in modern geopolitical thinking. So why should we care about 3 8th century kings in 2025? Well guys, this story teaches us some incredibly important lessons that are still relevant today. First, the power of unity. Look at how Nagabhatta, Bappa Rawal, and Pulakesin set aside their differences to face a common threat. In today's world, where we often see political fragmentation and regional rivalries, this is a powerful reminder of what coordinated action can achieve. Second, the importance of strategic thinking. These rulers didn't just fight bravely, They fought intelligently. They used terrain advantages, coordinated timing, and psychological warfare. Modern military strategists still study these principles. Third, the value of historical awareness. Understanding our past helps us appreciate how Indian civilization survived and thrived despite numerous challenges. It builds confidence in our ability to handle contemporary challenges. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't about promoting religious or communal division. This is about understanding how different communities in India have historically cooperated to defend common interests. The alliance included rulers from different regions, different traditions, but united in protecting their homeland. And yes, we need to be honest about the limitations of 8th century source material. Some details in popular narratives may be legendary rather than historical, but the core story of successful resistance, strategic alliance, and preservation of independence, that's solidly documented in contemporary inscriptions and multiple sources. The real lesson here is about resilience, strategic thinking, and the power of cooperation. Whether we're facing economic challenges, environmental issues, or any other modern problems, the example of these three rulers shows us that seemingly impossible odds can be overcome through intelligence, courage, and unity. And here's something to think about. How many other incredible stories from Indian history are waiting to be rediscovered? How many other forgotten heroes shaped the world we live in today? So, there you have it. The incredible story of how three forgotten kings saved India from Arab conquest. Nagabhata I, the master strategist. Bappa Rawal, the young warrior. And Avanijanashraya Pulakesin, the southern shield. If this story amazed you as much as it amazed me, make sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Because honestly, more people need to know about these incredible heroes who shaped Indian history. And let me know in the comments, which of these three rulers impressed you the most? And what other forgotten Indian heroes should we cover next? Subscribe to our channel because we're going to keep bringing you these incredible untold stories from Indian history. Trust me, there are many more where this came from. Until next time, remember, history isn't just about remembering the past. It's about understanding how the past created the present and how we can use that knowledge to build a better future. So meet you all in the next video. God bless you. Jai Shri Ram.